Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Whiteville, North Carolina, visiting Vann, Underwood, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and I'm checking out a customized 2017 Ram 2500 Mega Cab in the limited trim level. Now this truck is lifted, it has Ram boxes, and a whole bunch of cool stuff to show off. So let's go ahead and get started. This truck still maintains the 20-inch limited wheels. However, they added a 35 by 12.5 20-inch Nitto tire, the Ridge Grappler. Now this is one of the few tires on the market that can handle the 80 pounds of pressure that this truck requires. Four-wheel disc brakes, all 4 disc rotors are ventilated. It has a Tragsda lift kit installed with 2.5 inches in the front and 1 inch in the back. The name of this color is Granite Crystal Metallic. You can see they're going with a darker theme. So here in the front you have the body colored bumpers. That's an option that you can choose in the limited. Parking sensors across the front. You also have the tow hooks here as well. And this is where it gets interesting. Here's the grille. Now typically in the limited, the grille will be all chrome. Now this one has been custom painted. So you can see the chrome with the Ram name, and then you have these portions here in the grille that are still chrome, but the rest of it has been painted that granite crystal color. They kind of blend it in and reduce the amount of chrome shining here in the front. In addition to that, they've installed the sport headlights. So the sport headlights have a gloss black bezel instead of that bright chrome, shiny chrome bezel, which also darkens the overall look of the vehicle. It maintains the same fog lights. The Ram 2500 heavy duty emblem has been removed off the side of the vehicle. They maintain the Cummins turbo diesel emblem though. So you can see here's a different trim level, but you can see how prominent that emblem is on the side of the vehicle. So that is removed, so that way it kind of gives it a darker look, but also more sleek, less work truck like. And here in the back, the Ram name in the back. Now this is a way you can order the truck from the factory where it's body colored, so it's not chrome. Let's take a look at that profile. The Mega Cab really adds to the prominence and stance of this truck. Gives it a length and a presence that is just dominating the parking lot right now. You can see compared to that 2500, it just gets your attention. Another thing that they did is they put these sport handles. So these are body colored handles. Typically the limited will have a chrome handle, so that's been replaced. Now they maintained the tow mirrors in chrome, so the tow mirrors are able to flip them up like so. They're also a power fold heated side mirror. The Ram boxes are always a pleasure to show off. This is something that's really handy on both sides. You have a lockable storage bin that it just gives you a lot of space that keeps it out of the weather and also secure and easy to access as well. The tail lights are actually aftermarket, so this is not something that you can purchase through Mopar, but that's something that they chose to have with the black bezels and all LED lights. Parking sensors across the back, and there's your tow hitch and your 4 and 7-way outlet. Mounted in that high position, keeps dust and dirt from getting on it, and also it's easy to access. Let's take a look under here, just to kind of give you an idea of what the underbody looks like. There's your spare tire. You see, even with the Ram boxes, you can install a cover. So this is a cover that's designed for a truck with the Ram boxes. So the tailgate is lockable. You can lock it with a key, or you can have it to where it locks electronically. There's your backup camera. It also has a cargo camera located right up here, which I'll show you that when we get on the inside. So let's go ahead and open this up. One thing that they added that's aftermarket is when you lower the tailgate, it has the shock over here. So it lowers slowly. From the factory, it doesn't have, you can't get it from the factory with this shock. This is a Tailgate Assist shock right here. But the tailgate, even without that, is fairly easy to raise and lower. So it has the spray-in bed liner from the factory, LED cargo lights here and here as well, and the cargo management system. Not only does it serve as a divider in here, but it also serves as a bed extender, so it can mount right here and extend out over the tailgate to give you a little bit more room. It also has a cleat system here, so the tie downs can be anywhere along that rail. The little cleats can be attached, and then that way you have a tie down anywhere you need it. The fuel doors here on the driver's side, and it has the capless design. This is a transit cap. Now you can get an aluminum cap that places in there and holds in place if you want to, but typically it's just like so. And your DEF fluid is really easy to fill up. It's right there with in the fuel door. The fuel door itself actually has a little rubber seal around the edge. Now this truck has the proximity key system here with the remote start and buttons here, but basically it's designed to where you just keep it in your pocket the whole time and not have to take it out. So as long as you have the key with you, the front doors have this feature where you can lock the doors by pushing this button and unlock it by putting your hand behind the handle. Now, not only will it lock the doors, when you push the button, it locks all the doors, the Ram boxes, and the tailgate all together. So once you push the button, it secures the vehicle completely. Now wait till you see the interior. All right. So opening up the door reveals the power amp research step. So it kind of opens up as you open the door. Let's go ahead and demonstrate that. So as you close the door, it hides away completely, almost completely out of sight there. And you open up the door and it meets you right there, really quick and ready to go. All right, so the inside of the Limited is black. Black interior is the color that you get with the Limited, which is really nice. So you can see it has the ebony wood with the lighter colored wood grain, contrast stitching in white in the French design here at the top, all soft to the touch surfaces just about everywhere. Then you have the filigree stitching right in here, soft to the touch all around, and it has the stitching down here as well. Nice shelf system, really handy place to put some stuff right there, and large storage compartments at the bottom. Here's your threshold with a sill plate with the Ram name. Power seat for the passenger as well as power lumbar adjustments. Now these are heated and ventilated seats here in the front with the perforations in the center. Very, very comfortable seats. There's the Laramie Limited leather care guide hanging from the seat still. You have the filigree stitching here on the back of the seat. Gray piping here on the side. And even the floor mats look nice. They have the Limited name and their rubber on the outside. Basically a rubber mat with some carpet here, Berber carpet there on the center portion. Looking really nice and functional as well. They hook in place in two places, so it keeps it not only from sliding forward but twisting and turning. Keeps it in place the whole time. There's a place here on the side of the console. It's on both sides, and this is designed to fit a full-size file folder, so you can put papers or whatever in there. All 4 doors have these handles with the leather, hand-stitched leather wrapping around them. So that's a nice touch. So you have the filigree and limited name here. Now this is actually a compartment, storage compartment. It's illuminated. And just below that is your actual glove compartment. Little storage pocket right in here. Now this has the AC adapter, 115 volt AC adapter. You also have another storage cubby right in here, just kind of put your small items. Soft to the touch dash with the contrast stitching up here as well. All the rear glass has the privacy glass. So let's go ahead and take a look in the back portion. Now the doors in the back are quite large. Now with the crew cab, you already have a tremendous amount of room. Now this is the mega cab, so you actually have this extra room right here just to give you this wide open space. It's hard to imagine even more room than a crew cab if you've experienced that, but this one actually has more. So you can see it has the back doors have the same styling with the contrast stitching, the ebony wood, the filigree, all soft to the touch. Storage compartment here and here. You even have the sill plate, rubber mats, all that stuff, just like the front. Heated seats back here, filigree in them, and the stitching. So armrest with cup holders. Now there's some stuff, extra parts and things after the build. That's all that's on that side. Then you have your heated seat controls and then a 12-volt power supply. Now you notice that the 12-volt power supply has a battery. That's letting you know that it's connected directly to the battery and it will not turn off when the vehicle turns off. Now the floorboard is wide open. There's a slight hump right in here, but generally it's a flat floor all the way across. So even your center passenger has plenty of leg room. And you do even have, they're kind of contoured these, the bolstering is kind of like it's a bench seat, but it's bolstered similar to 3 bucket seats. You even have the bolstering here for the center portion as well, which is nice. In the back of the front seats, there's a storage pocket with a filigree, and it looks like a buckle, but it's actually a magnet for your compartment. So you have this little magnet right here, and you just go like that, snaps in place, but it has a really nice look. So with all this extra room behind the seats, you can recline the seats, which is nice. Use the lever right here to do that. You can also fold them down. So I fold them down like so. And we can kind of use this as a cargo area. So if we were to fold all this down, it could give you this big flat surface to put a big item or whatever. It also has some storage space behind the seats. So back in here, so you can see quite a bit of space back here, and hangers as well. And this seat can go forward. So release the seat a little bit forward, so I can show you the storage compartments back here. So there's a wide open storage compartment. There's different doors, and you can have little dividers here. But basically, this is a pretty substantial amount of space back here. Now this one has the Alpine sound system, so some of the space is taken up with the subwoofer and amplifier over on that side. But just to give you an idea, it does have some additional storage space back here. You even have a massive amount of space under the seat. So look under here. All that is wide open except for these posts here to hold the seat up. You can put a long box, you can put a rifle or whatever you want. Even a rifle case would probably fit in there. But plenty of room underneath the seat as well, even when you have passengers. So let's go ahead and start it up. As long as we have the key on the inside of the vehicle, you can be in your pocket, in a bag, whatever. Just put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button. Now, since this is a diesel, if it's cold weather, it may take a moment for it to start up, but you just basically push the button one time. You don't have to hold the button, you just have to hold the brake. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Floor mat hooks in place in 2 places, just like the other side. There's your accelerator and brake pedal, foot actuated parking brake here, and the floorboard kind of contours up, allowing for a footrest. You release the parking brake here. There's that other pocket on the side of the console I was telling you about. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. Lifting the hood is super easy. Right in here, a little bit to the right of center, there is a latch. You just move it to the left and lift up. And it doesn't take much effort to get it to that point, and then it goes the rest of the way up by itself. Underneath the hood is insulated. It also has a light right here. All right, so this has the 6.7 liter Cummins turbo diesel. It's an inline 6 diesel engine. You can see it has 2 batteries, one on each side. They're both insulated. Here's the Ram active air intake. Here's the inside of the driver's side door. Now it's just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. Your door lock controls, power window controls. The front 2 are automatic, so it's one touch up and down. Now they have added some tint here to the front to match the back windows. Side mirrors are adjusted here, and you can also power fold them by pushing the center button. So your trailer tow mirrors, they stick out quite a bit, but it's real easy to fold them right in. Headlight controls are here, so you have automatic, off, parking light, and headlight, and then you push right in here to turn on your fog lights. You have a cargo light in the back. You can push that button to turn it on, and then there's your dimmer switch for your interior gauges. You do have adjustable pedals and a tilt steering column. Now the driver has a power seat as well with a power lumbar adjustment, but it also has a 2-position memory seat. Okay, taking a look at the driver's seat position. And man, this is a nice truck in every way. It's comfortable, there's plenty of room, and it's just a high-end truck. Well designed. So let's go ahead and start on the steering wheel. It's a leather wrapped with the stitching here on the inside, except for this top portion. They went with the ebony wood. Now I just want to clarify, all the ebony wood in this vehicle, here on the doors and everywhere, it's real wood. It's not a synthetic wood or anything. So that's a nice touch. And it looks like it would be slippery, and you don't want a slippery steering wheel, but it's not. Actually, when it's quite grippy, it's actually more grippy than the leather. So you go up here, you can see my hand starts catching when I get towards that, that top portion. So it's not slippery. Cruise controls here on the right side. You have a volume on the back of the steering wheel. On the back of the steering wheel on this side, you can change through your audio tracks or radio stations. So it's really easy to just put your hand back there and use those back buttons. Okay, so you have your voice recognition and your phone control for your Bluetooth right here, and these buttons correspond with the screen between the gauges. We'll get to that in just a minute. Windshield wiper controls and your turn signal is located on that side, and here's your shifter. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse so we can see the backup camera here in the center. Now we can, while we're in reverse, it has the active guidelines, so as I turn the steering wheel, it'll turn the guidelines there, but we can also take a look at the cargo camera. So there's a cover over the bed, but you can kind of keep an eye on things back there. Now you can access this, you don't always have to be in reverse. We'll get to that in a minute. You can set your upper gear with these buttons right here, so you can downshift if you need to. Okay, so here's the gauge cluster. So you have your RPMs, your DEF fluid here on the left side. On the right side is your speedometer and your diesel fuel level, oil pressure, and your engine temperature. But right here in the center, there's a digital speedometer and there's some information around it. Outside temperature, digital compass, what your radio is doing, and what gear you're in, and your odometer, all in that spot. Now, you can see these little icons here on the left. You can get some more information by cycling down. So all I have to do is cycle down on these buttons on the steering wheel. And you can see the icon changed. So now we're in the vehicle info screen. So you can see as part of the menu system, but there's more information, so we can go right and scroll through and get temperatures and pressures, voltage, exhaust turbo. Not going to show anything, right? Not much going on sitting at idle. Gauge summary, engine hours, and it goes back to your tire pressure. Scrolling down again, we have your fuel economy. This is where you can get average, real time, and a range. There's a trip A, and then you have a trip B. Now the trips will also give you your distance, your average miles per gallon, and your average miles per hour, and elapsed time, which is nice. Now your trailer brake can be adjusted, and this is the actual setting right in here. There's your audio, basically just what your radio is doing. Stored messages will show up here, like when it's time to change the oil, that kind of thing. And then you can go into all the different settings on the screen, and you can change the things on the corner. So let's say you don't want the outside temperature or the digital compass, you can change that to, you know, whatever the information you want, say distance to empty, that kind of thing. And then there's a commercial settings right in here. You actually have to set it up with a pin, and then it goes back to your digital speedometer. So that's kind of a quick run through that screen. Gives you a ton of information when you want it, but you don't actually have to go through there all the time. Has a little storage compartment right in here with the ebony wood around it. So here's your 8.4 Uconnect screen, and this is rated by a lot of people and a lot of companies as being the easiest, user-friendly infotainment screen on the market. So you have your icons that stay across the bottom the whole time. The first one is your radio. So this is your radio screen. So you have your selection of AM, FM, satellite radio. Your presets are there at the top, and it kind of gives you a little graphic and shows you what's going on. You can adjust your audio. Since this one has the Alpine sound system, this will definitely be a plus. You have your equalizer, balance and fade, speed adjusted volume, surround sound, and you can change the level, the volume of the auxiliary, so it might be a little bit different. You can adjust that. And then the auto play, you can adjust this. You can actually move it around to get more in the front, more in the back, left to right, all just by holding that button, that little speaker there. So the next one is media. So media, this one does have a CD player, and I'll show you where it is in a minute. USB, auxiliary, and Bluetooth controls. This is all the different ways you can play, in addition to the radio, play music through the sound system. Now, control screen gives you your heated and ventilated seat controls, heated steering wheel controls. You can look at the backup camera without being in reverse, or your cargo camera. You can also go into a bunch of settings. There's your heated and ventilated seat here for your passenger. Let's just quickly look at the settings so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Just a ton of settings. Some of the ones that this is where you want to go in and you want to set it up to where if you want the horn to beep or honk when you lock the doors, that kind of thing, or remote start. If you don't want the horn or the lights flashing, you can go in there and adjust that. So these are all different things that you want to go in and set up from the get-go. All right, so the next screen is your apps. So the apps are pretty neat. Here recently, they designed this to where you can change an icon here at the bottom. So right now we have the navigation, but let's say we want to change that to the backup cam or cargo cam. Let's use the cargo cam. We just hit it, hold on to it, drag it down here, and it replaces the navigation. So at any time we can just push that button and look at the cargo cam. Let's say there's something back there we want to keep an eye on. We can close it out by pushing the X. So let's put the navigation back, press and hold it, and drag it back there, and it replaces that. So lots of different apps here that you can go into. Travel Link is really nice. That's a fun one to check out. Travel Link is one of those programs that's really good for traveling. Well, that's why they call it Travel Link, because when you're out of town and you need to find the nearest, especially in a diesel engine, you need the fuel. You need diesel fuel. So right now, let's go to diesel, make sure it's in there. Okay, so now we can find the nearest gas station with diesel fuel. And we can sort it by distance, we can sort it by brand, or we can sort it by price if we want to get cheap. And we can drive that extra mile or whatever to save a few pennies. Or if there's a specific brand that we like, we can find it that way. Really cool feature. We can go into the weather, check out what the weather's doing. So that's there's a lot of stuff that we can go in there, but that's a whole program. That's one of the apps that I really think is it's very useful. Okay, so continuing on, we have the climate screen. So this is where you have your driver and passenger temperatures, where you want the air to blow, and the front and rear defrosters recirculate the air, and your fan speed are all controlled right here on the screen, and a quick access to go to your heated and ventilated seats. And the navigation screen, we can view the map, see where we're at, kind of zoom in and out. We're in Whiteville, North Carolina at Vann Underwood Chrysler. Kind of zoom out. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's really zoom out. Let's get the big picture. So you can see the coastline right here. There's Myrtle Beach area, Wilmington. We're here in Whiteville. I'll put in a specific address. We go to menu and we hit where to. And we can put in an address, or we can go to a recent address. We can save addresses in your favorites. You can save your home address, all that stuff. So you can be anywhere in the United States and hit go home, and it'll tell you how to get home. That's really cool. Last but not least is your phone. So once you pair your phone, you'll have access to your phone book, recent calls. You can make a dial. You can dial with a little pad on the screen that pops up. It has your caller ID here in the center. You can also respond to text messages and listen to text messages without taking your phone out. Now, in the event you need a private call, let's say you're sitting in a parking lot, you want to have a private call, there's other people in the vehicle, you can transfer the phone call back to your cell phone, so that way not everybody's going to hear it. Okay, so down here you have a traditional volume knob, tune through the stations. You have a back button for certain places in the screen which you can go back out of. You can always turn the screen off if it's just distracting you. Your four-way flashers are here, your fan speed is here. Now these are additional buttons in addition to the screen. So the screen has the climate controls, but you don't actually have to go in there all the time. You can actually control your temperature, your fan speed, and a lot of stuff right in here. Front and rear defrosters, all easily accessed. Your four-wheel drive controls are right here. Down here is your trailer brake gain control, your downhill descent, traction control off, your tow and haul, your diesel exhaust brake. So this is where you can use engine braking as you're going down a hill. You can turn that on and off. Rear parking sensors, front parking sensors, you can turn those on and off separately. So if you're backing up to a trailer and there's beeping at you, you can turn it off in the back, but while maintaining the front, which is nice. And then you have these auxiliary switches here, which are not connected to anything, but let's say you want to add some clearance lights or any other lights that you want to add, you can utilize those switches here. Storage compartment. Cup holders are right here, and you have the ebony wood over this. This is just nice. Really glossy and classy looking. This opens up. Storage compartment with a 12-volt power supply. Now this one has the key, so it'll turn on and off with the ignition. And you actually have a place to put cell phones. So as you put your cell phone in this compartment right here, it has a place for wires to go in and out of the compartment, out of the bottom, I should say. So you can line up your cell phone, snap it in place, and you can still plug it in and charge it using the 12-volt power supply. And you can use 2 phones, or you can put in a phone sideways, clip it in there. It keeps it secure, and Ram does a really good job with this particular thing, because there's some vehicles you get in, there's no real place to put your phone. So they solved that problem right here. I really think it's a great idea. Little storage compartment right in there. So this is your armrest, and it is fancy. Look at the filigree, has the limited name. You have the contrast stitching. It's soft to the touch, very, very comfortable. It's just really high-end feeling. And it's wide. It's big enough to share with your passenger. You don't have to fight over it. I mean, it's nice. Okay, so this lifts up, and this actually lifts up in 2 portions. So it's kind of like a clamshell. So the top portion is right here, giving you some more storage space. You can put a tablet or whatever right in here. Has a USB charger right there. So that's just for charging. And then your USB and auxiliary inputs are right here for your radio. Place to put some coins. Now this whole thing lifts up, and this is where your CD player is. And there's a large storage compartment with little storage compartments around the outside. Now you can put wires in and out of this compartment right here, this little space. The top portion has a similar type deal, but they're on the sides. So you have a place to put wires here and here. It has an auto dim rear view mirror, and you see these buttons. This vehicle has its own cellular connection. So if you don't have your cell phone, or if your battery's dead, or whatever the case may be, you can always dial 911 and access a 911 operator through the system in the truck just by pushing that button. If you accidentally push it, it will give you 10 or 15 seconds to cancel it. And then you can get roadside assistance right there. HomeLink garage door opener controls are right in here. This is for your power sliding glass. So let's look at that real fast. So check it out. So you can slide it open, get some airflow. Nice and quiet and smooth. You have some tap lights. This is for your sunroof, which we'll get to in a minute. There's your visor, has mirrors and lights. Same thing on the passenger side. Okay, so the sunroof controls right here. Now, I want to point out the sunroof has a shade that covers 100% of the light. So, if you don't need light coming in, you don't have to. You have this shade. Open it up, let some light in, and we can vent it like so, or we can open it up and it slides back, giving us some fresh air. So that's as far back as it goes. Let's go forward, and we can close the shade. All right, let's look at the visibility now. We looked at the power sliding rear glass, but now we're going to kind of look at the visibility. So you can see those headrests kind of get in the way a little bit. Now those are removable, so you can take those out when you don't have any rear passengers. You can also fold the seats down. It's another way of getting them out of the way. A little bit more of a, tiny bit more of a blind spot, just because it's a mega cab back there. But with all the technology, cameras, sensors, all that stuff, it really helps out. The side mirrors, they have 2 portions, ones that help with the blind spot. Also, just looking over your shoulder, it's not a big deal as far as looking out of the vehicle. You're able to actually see quite well. All right, so there you have it. This is a customized truck. They started with a 2017 Limited with some of the things that they wanted, like the Ram boxes, the darked out Ram emblem in the back, also the body colored bumpers, and then they just kind of customized it from there. So this is just to give you an example of what Vann Underwood here in Whiteville can do. And this vehicle is actually going to Ohio, so it doesn't matter where you are in the United States. You can call up everybody here at Vann Underwood and they can customize a truck for you, and you can come pick it up. They'll pick you up at the airport, or you can just have it shipped, whatever. So anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you to Vann Underwood, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram here in Whiteville, North Carolina, for allowing me to show off another epic vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.